A very good day to all of you. Today we are going to continue the fifth part of Lesson 8 from Grade 10 Health and Physical Education Lesson Series. And this is the final part of our lesson. The lesson is about maintaining a healthy body. In this part of the lesson, we are going to talk about the male reproductive system. And in this figure, you can see a cross-section of the male reproductive system, and let's have a look at the parts of it. So here you have the seminal vesicle, then there's the ejaculatory duct, the green colored one is the prostate gland, this is the ductus deferens, this is epididymis, and this is the testis, the penis, and inside it you can see the urethra. So we'll talking about each of these parts in the next few slides. So let's start off with the testes and their function. So the testes are suspended outside the body. They are located outside the body in a sac called scrotum. Here you can see the testis is located outside the body and inside a sac called scrotum. And the testes are on the outside because the temperature of the testicles must be lower than the rest of the body for the optimal sperm production. So for optimal sperm production, the testicles need a lower temperature than the body temperature. So that's why the testicles are located outside the body. And the testes contain many seminiferous tubes. Here you can see the seminiferous tubules. They are the sites of sperm production. There's also a different groups of cells within the testes which produces the male reproductive hormone called testosterone. Here we are going to talk about the ductus deferens. So you can see the ductus deferens over here. This is a muscular tube and it enters the pelvic cavity. It is located in the pelvic cavity. So this is a muscular tube, and as you can see, the latter part of the ductus deferens unites with the duct of the seminal vesicle. So here you have the seminal vesicle and there's a duct coming out of it. The ductus deferens unites with it and form the ejaculatory duct. And then this ejaculatory duct passes through the prostate gland. This green colored one is the prostate gland. Then this passes through the prostate glands and it opens into the urethra. Let's have a look at the seminal vesicles. So a man has two seminal vesicles, and as we are looking at the cross section, we are seeing only one of them. So these seminal vesicles are about 5 centimeters in length and they are located below the bladder and also outside of it. And it unites with the ductus deferens, as you can see, and as we have discussed in the previous slide, the duct of the seminal vesicle unites with the ductus deferens to form the ejaculatory duct. And by that, the secretions produced in the seminal vesicle are also added to the seminal fluid, also known as the semen. Here we are going to talk about the prostate gland. In the figure, it's shown in green color. So the prostate gland is located below the bladder and also around the urinary tract. Here you can see the urinary tract and it's coming down to urethra over here. The secretions of the prostate gland are added to the seminal fluid. So just like the seminal vesicle, the prostate gland also produces some secretions, and the secretions of both the prostate gland and the seminal vesicles are added to the seminal fluid or semen. That's what makes up the semen. And here you can see the urinary tract, and in men the urethra, which is a key part of the urinary tract. This serves as the exit pathway for both urine and semen during ejaculation. We are going to talk about the diseases related to the reproductive system. So one of the most common diseases related to the reproductive system are the sexually transmitted diseases. These diseases are transmitted from one individual to another through sexual intercourse. So here we have a set of diseases: syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, and AIDS. And you can pause the video right here and go through the agents and symptoms of each of these diseases. So if you go through it, you can see that syphilis and gonorrhea are caused by bacteria, whereas herpes and AIDS are caused by two virus species. And each of these diseases have their own symptoms for identification. Another common type of disease found in the reproductive system is cancer in the female reproductive system. So this cancer can occur in the ovaries, womb, and the cervix of females. So in order to identify cervical cancer at an early stage, it is advised that every woman above the age of 35 to undergo a pap smear test. So the pap smear test, it is a procedure that screens for cervical cancer by examining cells from the cervix. So this is for cervical cancer. And diseases in the male reproductive system, due to the inflammation of the prostate glands at old age specifically, there will be difficulty in passing urine. And also there are cancers which may affect the prostate glands too. So here you can get a rough idea about what the other diseases are related to the reproductive system of both females and males. So before we wind up this session, we are going to learn about some of the steps which can prevent reproductive system related diseases. So one of the things is to have sexual relationships with one trustful partner and also use protective methods while engaging in sexual intercourse. And it's also important that one be concerned about one's personal hygiene and keep external genitalia clean. And if you notice any wounds or secretions around the external genitalia, you have to consult a doctor immediately. So that brings us to the end of the lesson, and we have fully completed lesson 8 from grade 10 health and physical education lesson series. And subscribe the channel and stay tuned for more lessons. See you next time. Thank you very much for listening.